All right, so our next lesson is lesson 2C, where we're going to be talking about what are called prime and composite numbers. This is another way of categorizing numbers. Just like we looked at even and odd numbers, different numbers have different properties. And we're going to look at some properties that numbers have that determine whether or not they are prime or composite. And it's very straightforward, but it makes a huge difference. Now, evens and odds didn't really make such a difference in your mathematics. But prime and composite can be used to do a lot of things. All right? So the first thing we're going to talk about is what makes something a prime number. A prime number is any number that has only two factors. And those factors are 1 and the number itself. So prime numbers will only divide by 1 and the number itself. And we're going to look at a lot of examples, so don't worry about that right now. But we've talked about factors. We know that factors mean anything that divide in evenly. But for prime numbers, the only number that will divide evenly into it is going to be 1. Okay? The next ones we're going to talk about are composite numbers. Now, remember we talked before about odd and even. It's easiest to define composite numbers by what they are not. Okay? So a composite number is simply any number that is not prime, except there is one exception. Okay? All right. The number 1 is neither prime nor composite, because it is the only number that has only one factor. And so it makes it a special case. Right? Because you don't repeat the factors. 1 can only be written as 1 times 1, so therefore it only has one factor. And that's why it's not prime or composite. Every other number has at least 2 factors. Okay? All right. And that is the lesson. Now, that's a very short amount of notes, but we can do a lot with these things. So if you like this video, be sure to hit like and subscribe.